In the equity quadrant, taking a look at the Nasdaq futures, which had a small retreat after 3 consecutive sessions of new all-time highs. The Nasdaq took the afternoon to fall a little bit. The Nasdaq was actually the leader through most of the session and spent most of the early morning positive, but turned lower and actually finished with an outside range day. Again, today was another new high. That high today, 18,883.75, that is a new all-time high. That was up a little bit more than 0.2%. And then you look at the low, 18,693.50, and there is still time left in the session as I speak to you. That was down 0.6%, and we're pretty much on those lows right now, down a little bit more than 0.5%. At the midpoint of the week, the Nasdaq is still working, however, on its 5th consecutive weekly higher close. So far up about 0.5%. So why did the Nasdaq retreat in the mid-morning? Well, we got the FOMC minutes, and it seems like the Federal Reserve officials are not all in agreement specifically about plans to slow quantitative tightening. You know, they slowed down the runoff of the balance sheet. Those are the assets that they let expire and they don't replace them with new purchases. They decided to slow that. And there was also talk of them maybe not all being in agreement that they should be easing soon. As a matter of fact, there were a handful of them that said they'd be opening to tightening rates, and they're not really sure how restrictive their policy is right now, given how strong the economy has been, how strong labor has been, and how much inflation seems to at least be flatlining rather than continuing lower. So that's what caused the Nasdaq to push lower into the midday. And then as we get into the close, again, we have a little bit of time left, and NVIDIA is reporting after the market closed today. The entire tech world is waiting for this. And you look at NVIDIA, it has the largest market cap. Its market cap is larger than all the other semiconductor stocks combined. So it's likely going to have an effect on the Nasdaq. And so we have to see if that NVIDIA pushes it back toward the positive side of thing, or maybe has it fall even further from where we settled.